For the ultimate Browns gear, head to the Browns Pro Shop, a Fanatics experience. It's right next to Huntington Bank Field. Jerseys, hats, hoodies, collectibles, exclusive merch you will not find anywhere else. Shop in-store or online at shop.clevelandbrowns.com. The Browns Pro Shop, official merch for true Browns fans. And now we head to the podium where linebacker and defensive rookie of the year, Carson Swessinger.
Rookie of the year.
Back with the media.
Uh-huh.
Did you know any of them?
Not super well, but I mean, cross paths.
How you guys doing? I'm doing good. Good to be back.
Does it feel right now for you kind of going into your first full off season, but at least, coming off of a season where you sort of know the ins and outs of what's
It's definitely a lot nicer than coming in as a rookie, and you have to basically learn everything new and where everywhere in the building is. I'm not getting lost, this time around. So that's nice, and it's just good to be around. All the guys, so you come back and you're looking forward to seeing everyone and getting to meet new people.
This is the first time we've talked to you since winning that defensive rookie of the year award. Just now that that's over, what did that mean to you, and just the whole presentation of it and having your dad giving you the award?
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Having my whole family was there, which was cool to share that with all of them, and just to be able to receive that's a great honor. But now I guess the mindset is just what's next. Keep building off of it.
What are your first impressions of Mike Rutenberg, and just what do you kind of think of him so far, and maybe what has his message to you been a little bit?
Yeah, it's been great getting to know him. A lot of energy. Somebody that I'll be talking to every day and working with closely, and I think good things are going to come from it. I'm excited.
Season looked like for you in terms of a little relaxation, but also trying to get locked in. Last year, you said you wanted this year to be even bigger than last year. So what does it look like for you as you enter this phase of off-season workouts here?
Yeah, I think the beginning of off-season was just getting healthy and getting the body right again. I think that rookie year is a long year. You don't really get a break from your college season to training to draft to everything like that. So really just get the body back to healthy. And now it's just the same thing as always, trying to find everything that I can get better at and finding ways to do that throughout this process.
I know you're only 2 days in, but has Coach Rutenberg talked about what's going to change, whether it's schematically, philosophically, from when?
Yeah, I think every coach, comes in with what they want, their pillars to be and the mindset. And I think, as a defense, we're trying to build on what we did last year, and we're still gonna, schematically, we're still with the attack front, and we're gonna go get after people. And I think that's really the mindset there. And as everyone has their own wrinkles and stuff that they'll add in, so I'm excited to learn those and really continue to build on what we did.
When you talk about getting better, I mean, it's hard to kind of look back at last year and point at the things that you could have done better. So what are some of the things you've kind of circled and that you want to do better?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things to get better at, whether it's just, the preparation throughout the week, game week, and figuring out really, what to watch, how to watch film and things like that. But even just in this time, whether it's, improving the football knowledge, football intelligence, right, or just finding better ways to attack the ball and really get those punch outs. I think that's something I'm really going to work on this year, and just continuing to grow in terms of patience behind the ball and being able to see things and being ready by the snap.
As a unit, Carson, what can you guys do to be better than last year?
I think as a unit we got great players all over the field, and I think for us if we're all communicating and we're all on the same page, that's what you want for a defense, and I think us all being on the same page, knowing what we're all doing is big moving forward.
How do you think that you guys as a unit have responded to the departure of everybody loved Jim Schwartz so much? What do you think the mindset is about him leaving?
Yeah, I think the response has been great. Obviously, everyone loves Schwartz and we all love playing for him, but the mindset's still the same. You go in and we're finding out how we can be the best defense we can be with the coaches that are around us, and we have great coaches around this year too, and so just looking forward to being able to do that.
What about adding Quincy Williams to your guys' group? Have you had a chance to get to know him much yet, and how exciting
Yeah, no, I'm very excited to be able to have him in the room and be able to learn from him. He's been in the league a long time, and so he's got a lot of stuff to teach, and just the energy he brings to is something you can already tell from 2 days. So it's going to be something that I'm excited to be around the whole year.
Carson, you talked about like last year, especially being such a whirlwind, training for the draft, and then you get drafted, and then play a whole season. Why this year was it so important for you to be here as early as you are, understanding the off-season program is voluntary?
Yeah, I think for me, I just want to be able to do as much as I can and get better. And I think the place for me to do that is here. And obviously we have all, the Rudy here and a lot of whole new coaches. And so I think it's important to get to meet them as well and understand them. And, I was excited too to be around, all the guys again and see them and be able to work with them.
How does it feel when you walk into a building and see guys that have been here, rehabbing here? Quinshon Judkins is one of those guys working to try to get back on the field. What does it mean as a teammate of theirs to be around them?
Yeah, just seeing the work that they put into, and at least for me, I was back in California. It was sunny, so I don't know if I could have done the cold for that long. So just seeing the work that they put in and the mindset they have to get healthy so that they can contribute to this team is pretty special. And then just being able to see them outside of that and just as boys hang out and just see them again after a while, it's been good.
Carson, what did you take away from Todd's opening message, and what have you been your early impressions of him?
I think it was great. I think a lot of it's just about the mindset of this team and how we're going to play. And the goal here is to go win a Super Bowl. I think that's the end goal, and that's what's been established. And, I'm looking forward to working towards that.
I think I saw you were in Hawaii, like for an event that Dylan was putting on. Just how did that come together, and how'd you enjoy that trip?
Me and Dylan hang out a lot, and I'm not gonna say no to an excuse to go to Hawaii. So it was raining a lot that day too. But just wanted to go out there and be able to support him, and then also take a nice 4 or 5 days and sit in the sun.
The fact that you guys have all the position coaches back on defense, how important is that for you guys to build on what you did last year and the continuity?
Yeah, I think the continuity is extremely helpful, and for me specifically, having Tarv's great. You come in, you already have that connection with the coach, and you know each other, and I think that's really helpful in being able to build.
What's going through the full offseason program this summer? What's important for you, do you think, as you guys sort of ramp things up here? And obviously, there's limitations.
Yeah, I think for me, like what I talked about, it's just finding the areas that I want to get better at, whether it's things on the field, things off the field, and finding tangible ways to measure it, to watch it, to get better, and keep growing.
Chris, I know it's early, obviously, but what's Tarver's early message been to you about this next season?
Yeah, I think me and Tarver have talked a lot about areas to improve and how we're going to do that and what to do to get there, and just too excited to be back and be around him. I got to go back to Cali more than he did too, so he's a little jealous of that. But I'm just excited to be around him too and the energy he brings.
Season about preparing your body to get through a full 17-game slate.
Yeah, I think just the preparation you have for your body is important. And, sometimes as you're playing football, things are going to happen you can't control. And it's just a matter of, doing everything you can to feel as good as you can on game day and, try and do everything I can to stay on the field.
Todd was mentioning that he tried to set this program up in such a way that you guys want to be here. So what about the program sort of is going to make it enjoyable or fun in addition to all the work?
Yeah, I think, if you love football, you're going to love being here. I think that's what it is. That's what we're doing every day is football. And you're with your brothers every day and you're doing football. And I think that's really the base of it. If you love football, you're going to love this.
Coming up next on this special edition of Cleveland Browns Daily, Z goes one-on-one with wrestling icon Matt Hardy. You're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily. We are presented by Valley Bet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Please bet responsibly.
Welcome back to Cleveland Browns Daily, brought to you by Valley Bet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. And this is, folks, a great personal treat for me as we are welcomed by one of the greatest professional wrestlers of all time, Matt Hardy. You know him as Broken Matt Hardy, Woken Matt Hardy version 1. And, of course, he is a multi-time, 15 different, this is according to CageMatch.net, 15 different tag titles held with his brother throughout his career, multiple single titles. It's just an honor to talk with you, an honor to be with you, and thanks so much for taking the time today.
Thanks for having me, man. Yeah, 15 major ones, I think, is what they are counting it at right now. We've had almost 50. We've had 47 altogether. Different
47. Well, when you go on an expedition for gold, you're gonna collect quite a bit.
And we love to do it. We can't do it enough.
Exactly. All right, coming up this Saturday, right here in Cleveland, April 11th at the Wolstein Center, it's TNA Rebellion. You and your brother Jeff will be defending the tag team titles, TNA tag team titles, against people who, quite frankly, you've had some run-ins with in the past in terms of talking Brian Myers and Bear Bronson, but against the system. How much are you looking forward to that one? And obviously walking in as champions, but more importantly, walking out still the TNA tag team champions.
Very excited for it. I mean, Cleveland is an amazing wrestling city. For people that don't know, Cleveland is where myself and Jeff, we got put on the map. That is where
I was supposed to lead with that.
Well, that is where the tag
October 17th, 1999, No Mercy. That's right.
Yeah, 1999, No Mercy. And that match changed everything from us. We went from being WWE wrestlers to WWE superstars. That was the night. And also, it's a very fond memory for me. I won the first ever scramble match for the ECW World Championship there in Cleveland as well. So Cleveland has been a good city to me, and I'm hoping it is good to me this Saturday, as we are facing a very tough team. Brian Meyer is extremely talented. Bear Bronson is a newcomer. He is the wild card. He is very unknown, but he is a very, very dangerous man, and I think the system is more dangerous now than they ever been.
And they've won. They've two-time tag team champions, the system. There are different members, obviously, along with Brian Myers there. But how have you and your brother, Jeff, what keeps you going? I mean, you have one of the great careers in the history of this business. You've been doing it, as I mentioned, from the trampolines in the 80s in Cameron, North Carolina. Start Omega. Then by 99, you're in the WWE, and you just mentioned it, October 17th right here in Cleveland. Changes everything. You were the new brood then, not even the Hardy Boys at that time. And here we are. It's 2026, brother. You go through and you look at the body of work that you guys have put together, and not only from a creative standpoint, but from the physicality and what you've literally put your bodies through. What keeps you doing this here in the year 2026? Not only doing it at the highest of levels.
I just think more than anything, it is our passion for pro wrestling. As children and as kids, once pro wrestling got a hold of us, we loved it so much, and it became our dream, and we were both obsessed with becoming pro wrestlers, because we thought it was like, these guys are living, breathing superheroes. You know, people who are doing stuff, you're doing it live. There's sports, there's drama, there's entertainment, a little bit of everything. And internally, you know, sure, we're 51 and 48, but internally we feel like we're 21 and 18. And I think that's what keeps us going. It is our passion for pro wrestling. And some people would say it is a uncommon passion. As that Omega DVD said, you know, because we've taken a lot of bumps off our bump card, but I would just say it is passion and love for the business.
You have to have it, right? I mean, there's no other way that you could do what it is that you're doing. And I've been lucky enough to befriend, you know, some people in your line of work, Matt Cardona, Dolph Ziggler, The Miz, and many of you have the same story. This was our dream. This is something we were hooked on as kids, and now you get to live it. And I will tell you this. I've been to a lot of great wrestling events. I've been to a lot of WrestleManias. I've had the opportunity to be front row for a lot of them. In fact, and I know that, I don't know how this match sits with you. Historically, WrestleMania 25, brother versus brother. I was there in second row when Jeff hits Swanton, throws his shirt in the crowd. That's in my house, his tank top. So you guys have had so many big moments, but like I said, I've been to a lot. When you guys came back, and I want to say it's WrestleMania 33, did I get that right?
WrestleMania
Orlando, Florida.
2017, yes.
So your tag title match was going to be, it was a ladder match, a surprise. Obviously, you guys come back. The next match was going to be Miz Shane McMahon, and I was there with the Miz, and so we got brought down. We're down like going to be ready to be moved into the front on the camera side for his match. Obviously, nobody had any idea. When your guys' music hit, and we're on the floor now of the arena, of the stadium, the football stadium down there in Orlando, the Citrus Bowl, it shook. The ground shook. Was that from your standpoint, one of the greatest pops that you've ever been a part of? I think it's one of the greatest pops in the history of wrestling, period. But what was that moment like for you guys through your eyes?
Absolutely. I mean, it was so wild because Jeff and I, there was so much secrecy around that, right? They did a really good job of not letting that secret out. There were less than 10 people that really knew we were going to be there, that we were re-signed and everything else. And we played our part. We did everything that we could to keep things on the DL.
Yes, you did.
And we got there about an hour before. They asked us to get hoodies in Orlando in April, which was kind of challenging. They ended up being pink hoodies. If you've ever seen the documentary, that's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
So we sneak into the building. We get onto a bus. We talk to the other couple teams for just a few minutes about the game plan of what we got going on. And then once the first entrance goes down and goes to the ring and say, "Go!" And then we ran from that bus, and Gorilla was up 3 flights of stairs. It was 3 stairs. My wife was pregnant. She was carrying our 1-year-old, 1.5-year-old on her back, so she was furious, cursing me out in Spanish. We got up there, and then immediately it was just so overwhelming because there was, John Cena and Shawn Michaels and Triple H and Vince McMahon and everybody else. It's like this big family reunion. And then all of a sudden, the music is hitting, and we're going. And when we're walking out, we have no idea what this venue looks like. We hadn't seen it yet. We had done an autograph signing for 6 hours that day.
Oh, I remember. That was the distraction, yeah.
Yeah, that was the distraction. And I'd taken a photo when our whole family, House Hardy, flew in that I was going to post saying, "Thank you for the weekend. It was great." And I did post that, saying that we'd already left.
Yeah.
And then we walked out, and the crowd was so legitimately excited. And the thing that was so surprising to me is that, TNA was a company that was on the verge of going out of business, and the Broken Universe stuff, Broken Mountain Brother Nero, made it hot, and it was sold to Anthem, a new company, actually took over, and it gave us a lifeline to a degree. And so many people, said, "Oh, TNA's dying," but the whole delete. There were.
Oh, we're gonna get there. I have many questions. Don't worry, we're gonna get there.
There were 50,000 people doing that in WrestleMania, and they were just as emotionally excited as they could possibly be. And for us, it was just exhilarating. It was intoxicating. Usually in those moments, you're just so overwhelmed, but this felt like a dream. It felt surreal. It feels like it's blurry around the edges as I'm trying to, recall the memory, because it was just such an amazing moment, and the energy was palpable in that. And I think the further we get away from that moment, the higher and higher it climbs as one of the greatest moments in Hardy Boys history.
I think it's one of the greatest moments in wrestling history. I'm not being facetious. I mean, I was at every WrestleMania from 19 through, and had, fortunately to be in good spot from 19 through. I missed 18, which would have been Hogan Rock, which probably would be the one thing that I think maybe be on a par.
Right.
But from 19 through 40.
Well, the first match you saw at WrestleMania was me versus Rey Mysterio. Then.
The one walking out Safeco Field. Absolutely. I remember that. Absolutely. Shannon Moore, the Mattitude follower. You do still detest green beans and mustard?
Well, mustard, I just strongly dislike. Detest
Strong, yes.
Powerful word.
It is.
That fact, Matt is undefeated as a singles competitor in WrestleMania.
Undertaker can't say that.
Right.
No, he can't. Not anymore.
I'm 2-0, baby. I got the streak when it comes to singles matches.
About going back real quick to that Mania when you come out. Did Kofi know?
Yes.
Okay, because their reaction was off the charts.
Right. But those guys, Kofi and those guys, they only knew, they smartened them up like 20 minutes before.
Okay.
They knew they were going to be announced, but they were like, whoa. I mean, it was still, I feel like they haven't seen us.
Yeah.
And it was going to be a shocker and surprise. So their emotion and their reactions were very authentic. And once again, kudos to Kofi and Big E and Xavier, because they really helped make that moment even more special with their reactions.
Well, I think there's something special about one of the cool things about the business that you're in and the fraternity that you're in that, like I said, I've been able to observe adjacently, is like when you have, that's respect. That is the ultimate respect. When you get guys out there marking out for you, like that's the ultimate sign of respect. And I think that's so cool. And you guys have been so influential. Like, Kofi Kingston, there's no doubt you guys influenced Kofi Kingston's career, life, trajectory, all of it. That's, to me, that's what makes it, right? Those are kind of the moments you live for.
Sure, it is. And sometimes, people go like, do you guys ever look back and think about how influential you are? And like, we talk now at Comic-Cons and appearances we do to so many fathers or mothers and their children that are like now both fans of the Hardys, and they support the Hardy Boys, and they're catching up on all of our matches and our body of work, and it's amazing. They like bond over it, and the fact that we have become generational talents, the fact that we have worked with so many young tag teams that said, you were my favorite tag team, you inspired me to do this, I wanted to do this because I saw you and Jeff doing it, and we get to work with them now. So it's real cool, man. I don't even think we don't take the time to like stop and look back and go like, we did all this influentially, because we still want to be living in the moment. We want to be present in the moment and still be as good as we can be every single night. And that's what we want to do this weekend against the system, obviously.
Yeah, and you're going to keep those tag titles. And one of the things that's cool about this kind of TNA run that you've been on is you mentioned, the ladder match. Obviously, that was with Edge and Christian. Then we go back to, obviously, WrestleMania 17. We think about TLC 2 when that involved the Dudley Boys. For you guys to get to have that kind of, that's what's one of the beautiful things about wrestling is that sometimes you get an opportunity to close a book but have the proper bookend. To get that match with the Dudleys,
yes.
It was... For me, poetry, perfect cinema, everything you could have wanted out of that. For you guys, what was that like to lock up one more time with them?
I mean, it was amazing. I am so proud of that match. Devon had some very serious health issues, and he worked extremely hard to overcome them and get into the best shape he could. He worked hard to get cleared, and he did get cleared. And we went into that match with two missions. One, to have an amazing match and show people that we can still make magic happen together.
Totally.
And we did that.
Yep.
And the other mission was to keep Devon safe and healthy and give him one last great match to really book in his career, much like you said before. And We are so proud of that match. I just watched that match back yesterday, actually, because
Awesome.
they just recently released the video. They put the full match out on the TNA YouTube channel. And if you haven't seen it yet, go watch it. It's great.
Do it. Yes, I urge everyone.
We did enough exciting, crazy table hot spots to make people think like, wow, this is like them in 2000. But we did great storytelling as well, talking about the Dudleys. Bubba's look at the very end like, okay, well, it's over for us now. It's over for me. It's over for us. And the thing that is super surprising about that match, nor Jeff nor I, we knew that was going to be Devon's last match. We wanted to get him through it. We did not know that they were both going to retire. And on top of that,
really?
give us their boots at the end of the match. That was an absolutely authentic moment. Whenever you saw that happening, that was our emotion in real time because we had no idea that was happening.
That's so cool. And one of the things that's amazing about it is it's one thing to to lay that out, to be like, okay, we're going to do this, and you didn't know they were going to retire at the end, but say, we're going to go one more time. But then to actually be able to get through, and what you brought to light about Devon, to get through it and execute it, like that's the beauty of it, is that you guys had this vision and then delivered it. It sounds like against some odds, and that's the beauty of pro wrestling. That's the absolute beauty of what you can do.
I mean, that is the beauty. That is the beauty of the art of pro wrestling.
Yeah, 100%.
Because we do control several different aspects of the industry, and there are ways you can make things that seem impossible happen, and that is beautiful. That's the beautiful thing about pro wrestling.
There's no doubt about it. All right, I went to get back this earlier, but you mentioned the Broken Universe. So I have a group of friends that we've all watched wrestling for forever. We could not have been bigger fans of the Broken Universe. I remember when you went on Jericho's podcast, you did a Talk is Jericho that was like 2 hours where you went through the whole thing. I was riveted. One year I was driving to the NFL Scouting Combine, which is from Cleveland to Indy. It's about a 4.5 hour drive. I listened to it there and back. That's how much I enjoyed the podcast and the Broken Universe, and Skarsgård and Vanguard 1 and just everything, every detail. Where in the world, okay, for people who maybe don't know about it, and you should go seek it out. It's around 2016, I want to say, if I have that right. I think it's in that era. To reinvent yourself that way, it's kind of, you think of the great, icons, whether Madonna, just to completely reinvent yourself, and you had to have the most fun ever doing it. But how did you kind of work that out? How did you workshop the accent, which I think makes it on some level, and just have that unbelievable renaissance to your career?
Well, the funny thing is, I've always tried to keep my finger on the pulse of pro wrestling, like where it's at, what's going on. And we're at that point where the wrestlers are getting smaller, their height's getting a little shorter, they don't weigh quite as much. Wrestling is kind of changing, and matches are more exciting. There's much more acrobatics in it. And we ushered some of that in, obviously, back in the day when we first started doing our things. So I was like, well, this is what pro wrestling is and where it's at right now. And work rate is very high. These guys have to have great matches. That's kind of like a requirement if you're having a match. On top of telling a story, you have to make it really action-packed, and it has to be good quality action. I was like, what if I go in the opposite direction of that? And I try something that is a throwback to the early 90s, Papa Shango, or when Undertaker first started and he was magical. What if I tried to create this supernatural character that was very unique? And my wife and I, we had binged True Blood over a few seasons. And I thought the whole vampire concept was so cool. How you see Eric Northman, who was my favorite on there, he had lived for 1,000 years, and you see all these different periods and how his clothing changes and how his hairstyles change and everything else. And it's like, it would be so great if you could portray some sort of character like that. Obviously, I can't be immortal, but what if I could say I am cognizant of where my soul in my body has been? So then that's when the body became the vessel. The soul became my essence. And the fact that you listen to that Talk is Jericho interview, that is delightful. That you listen to it over 4 hours. And
wonderful.
I tried to look for words that were very archaic and passe, and I tried to incorporate those. That way I could seem like I am a soul that was from thousands of years ago, and that was kind of the whole concept behind the Broken Matt Hardy persona.
Did you have any idea that it was going to become the phenomenon that it became? As you mentioned, and we fast forward, kind of jumping around, but to that WrestleMania, a football stadium is chanting delete. You had not been on WWE TV in years.
Right, and the Broken Universe is what brought us back to WWE.
100%. It was the hottest thing in wrestling.
Vince said, why are people doing that? Why are fans doing delete? What is that? And someone said, well, that's what the Hardys are doing. The Hardys are, they have these new Broken characters, and it's very popular, very hot right now, and it's viral online. He said, "Bring them back, bring them all back." There's only 2 of us, man. So, and,
well, that's when you go into the lake of reincarnation. I mean, you never know. You never know what's going to happen.
Right, there are more versions. You're right about that. But it's crazy how the Hardy compound became such a character in the Broken universe, which is so beloved.
And family, right? Senor Benjamin?
Yeah.
Is your father-in-law?
No doubt, everybody, yeah. And, Skarsgård, people love Skarsgård. Vanguard
Skarsgård's the best.
When Vanguard won, got hurt and killed, like, people were so sympathetic.
I did not like it. Yeah.
It was wild, yeah. But man, it was the most fun. That year of doing Broken Mountain was the most fun I've ever had in my entire career. And just the fact that I got to create and think out of the box and do stuff that was so different was so much fun. And I'm so proud of it. And it was so cool that we got to do a little bit of it last year at NXT, because we did a really cool deal where Jeff and I got beat up. We dipped into the Lake of Reincarnation and did a big video, came back as Broken Mountain Brother Nero. Thursday night on Impact, you're going to see a brutal tag team table match between ourselves and the Righteous, and I think I figured out finally what the Righteous' goal was. I think their goal is to bring out Broken Matt and Brother Nero, and I don't know. Be
careful what you ask for.
Yeah, be very careful what you ask for, because that could be a decision they are going to extremely regret. So we're going to be battered and beat up going into the ring with the system, but we are the Hardys. A new catchphrase that I just said, and Tommy Dreamer was a big fan of it. There's no one that has Hardy heart, because regardless of how bad you beat us down, we will not die. We have the guts to just keep ticking, man.
I like that. I'm not going to repeat it, but I like what you're saying right there. Again, this is all going down here in Cleveland. I mean, you get an opportunity to see living legends still at the top of their game. The Hardy Boys against the System. TNA Tag Team titles on the line. TNA Rebellion, Saturday, April 11th, 2026 at the Wolstein Center. Tickets are on sale right now through Ticketmaster. And, Matt, I want to leave you with this, because I could talk to you all day, and I know you are a very busy man. You got a lot going on, but this is a great thrill for me. I'll tell you this, kind of leave you when you talk about kind of the impact you have. So my kids, for a long time, I had my kids like pretty hard in wrestling. Now they're in high school, and they've moved on to other things. But we went to a bunch of Royal Rumbles, WrestleManias together. My son had like all the figures, play all the video games and everything. There are four people, and I told them that I was doing this interview, and they both marked out huge. They're like, "You're going to talk to the Hardys? You're going to talk to Matt Hardy?" So you, Jeff, AJ Styles, and Kofi, who was always so nice to them when they got a chance to meet him backstage. Oh, yeah. Those are the four people that they, to this day, like, if that's wrestling to them. The Hardy Boys, AJ Styles, and Kofi Kingston.
Outstanding. AJ and Kofi are both amazing humans. Very good. Great pick by your kids.
Yeah, we're raising them right. Raising them right. Exactly.
Right, yeah.
Well, Matt, thank you so much for the time. Tear it up at Rebellion. Get through that table match with these no good doers. We don't like these people, but if they get Brother Nero and Broken Matt back, they're going to get what they had coming. But go check them out. TNA Rebellion, Saturday, April 11th, 2026, Wolstein Center. Again, you get your tickets at Ticketmaster. Matt Hardy, I got to tell you, a personal great thrill for me today. I really appreciate the time and the conversation.
Thank you, and I hope to see each and every one of you in Cleveland. If not, I may have to delete you.
It's perfect. We'll be back with more Browns Daily right after this.
Welcome back into Cleveland Browns Daily. We're presented by Ballybet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Please bet responsibly. We're going to have a little fun here on a Friday edition of the program. Celebrity golf foursome for Augusta and the Masters. So the idea here, Gibby, is we are playing in this foursome.
Yes, sir.
Now, there is one issue with your parameters that I've found, and I'm not sure if this is you and G-Man or
I think I know where you're going.
It's a significant issue.
It's a relatively significant issue. And that is that one of your selection criteria, two of them make perfect sense. One golfer, single-digit handicap, one golfer with a handicap between 10 and 20. But then you also have one golfer with a handicap that is 21 or higher. With this segment, you have given us a list of golfers that we can choose from, which is a fantastic list, over 100 golfers we can choose from. And these are their actual handicaps.
Correct.
The only problem we have here is
20 should have been included in the third run.
I think
I was busy because we were taping
all right,
other
so
things.
let's go to 20.
Let's hold on.
I think that's going to really open it up.
It doesn't really open it up all that much. I've done the research here, and I think
Okay.
what we're looking for, I think we want a 0 to 9, a 10 to 17, and then an 18 plus. If you're trying to get like 3
10 to 17
reasonably equal size buckets, the last one's got to be 18 plus.
I'm cool with that. I'm cool with
Fine.
10 to 17.
Great.
All right.
I appreciate the effort.
18's a bogey
Yeah.
golfer.
18.
And there's we get
You would know that. You would have a better idea of that than I would.
we throw in a few more that way.
All right. Should we do this draft? Let me ask you guys this. If you were if this were us playing, because this is us playing with the foursome.
Yeah.
Right? So should we do this draft style? And I'm just going to, I assume we're all just going to do it with the guy that we would most like to play with.
Have the most fun.
Have the most fun. Yeah.
I think we should do it. I think everybody should write down, if they had their druthers, what their ideal team was. Okay? But then, and we'll reveal that at the end. But I do think we should do a draft. And Gibby, are you participating? Is young Gabriel participating?
I think Gabriel's tied up. He's got some things going on.
Dr. J.
Dr.
Dr.
J.
doesn't
The
know.
golf
He's
is not
not worried
Dr.
about it.
J's
All
strong
right,
suit.
so the
I'm
three
in.
of us will do a draft. The three of us will do a snake draft, but also write down your ideal that if you were left completely unfettered, what your team would be.
Okay. Let me just tell you this right now.
I think I have a dream team.
I can't.
Are there some people
cannot
fudging their
see
handicaps?
Any scenario where my close personal friend, Mr. Dog, is an 18.
Don't worry about that.
That's what it says.
I can't see a scenario where that's the case.
Don't worry about that.
Pay very little attention to this. Who on this list is this? There's some real surprises. For example, I would be very interested in watching Charlize Theron move around a place and shoot 82. Like to see that.
How about Alba? You got a pretty.
Alba's she's an 18, but Catherine Bell's a 2.
Catherine Bell's a 2?
She's a 2? She's a stick, dog. All right.
Yeah, it's a fun little list.
This is a fun list. The
Who is it 2? Kristen Bell?
Catherine Bell.
Bell?
Yeah.
Who's that?
She was in Bruce Almighty.
No idea.
She was in one of those CBS procedurals like NCIS Annapolis or something.
I like the idea of Shakira at a 20 or Alba at an 18.
Yeah, those both win. All right, I'm ready. I'm prepared. They're two. I'm good. What are we going to do with LD with the double handicap? What do I make of that?
It just means he's a 13.6.
Oh, 0.6. Oh, he's got it. He's dialed in then.
He's 13.6.
He knows exactly what he is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those are, interestingly, Costner, and Murray, there's some people who have real, like when you got a point, that's much more of a, that's a real handicap.
That's a real one. That's a real one. All right. So how do we want to do the draft order?
So we have Dr. J pick the draft order.
Go ahead,
again.
Dr. J. Snake draft. Go ahead.
Or wait, you went last in the Masters.
He went last.
I went last.
You went last?
I was
All
middle.
right, so
I was even, Steven.
All right, so we'll go Gibbe, but I'll go last.
All right, we're good, Dr. J.
All right, so Gibbe's going first.
Yep.
All right.
There's a lot going on here.
There is.
I hope to get 2 of my 3. I don't think that there's any way that I can get all 3 of my 3. I think that'd be an impossibility.
I mean, I assume
And
that
are we? Is this for competition's
it's
sake?
for, to have
How's
a
there
good
a
time.
competition?
There's
Nobody's
no
going to
comp.
play. There is no competition.
Yeah, I think
Like,
it's for
this is
fun. Who do
this
you want to
is-
hang with?
Yeah. What would be your, if you could pick out of these people, who would you want to hang with?
Who'd
the
be your
parameters
hang?
that you've laid out for us, Gibby?
All right.
Look at Will Scarlett just shepherding people around.
He really is. He's a leader of men, taking people in and around. There you go.
There
Good
we
to
I
see
look
you.
forward to you taking him to watch South Carolina beat Clemson.
Yeah, that'll be
me
fun.
too. That'll
be fun. Gibby, you got one?
Yeah. So can I pick
With the number 1 pick.
Can I pick any of?
Yeah, of
the,
course.
You can pick anybody you want. You're picking first.
I'm going McConaughey at 36th
Wow, McConaughey.
with a 14 handicap.
Well, that's what we need. Why do you say at 36? Because he's just listed as the 36th person.
Number
on here?
36 on this
He's
list.
a 14. So
Well,
you,
that way you can find him.
Yeah.
That's
Because
why
I
I'm trying
love
to
you
do this.
the way that I do. Your and I first pick would be the same person
pick it.
on this
That's
list.
just the way that
No.
goes.
I'm going to show you what friendship is, and I'm going to show you generosity.
I
feels
would
very
never do
beautiful.
And so I'm going to take Bill Murray here. I will take Bill Murray.
I mean,
He would have been your second pick, I believe.
Yeah.
Your first would have been LD. My first would have been LD, so I will take Murray as my one.
so then I'm going to come back and I'm going to hit with LD, and then I'm going to hit with Snoop. LD and Snoop together.
That's a lot of fun.
It feels like we're going to have a great time. Now I need to find
Now, is LD is your
He's my 10 to 17, and
so you
Snoop's
got-
my 18.
So he's your
So
10
now I
to
need to find a
17.
single digit that I really want to spend some time with.
Snoop. Okay. All right, so I got Murray. So now I want to think about who would operate in a fun world with Murray, who doesn't take themselves too seriously, might have a little bit of fun. I keep being drawn to someone that I know neither one of you guys would pick. Oh, I can't have him because Murray's a single. So I don't think it matters.
Oh, no.
I can't have him. 2 guys that I think would be a great time on this, but I can't because they're
I mean, dude,
singles.
you could. I think there's a pretty good second place in the 10 to 14 category that is pretty strong, like quite strong.
I mean, I'm going through this. I'm trying to.
There's
I'm
3 of them.
It's 10 to 17, right?
10 to
yeah,
17.
there's 3
yeah.
on page 21 to 44. There are 3 10 to 17s that are electric factories for different reasons, but would I think all be tremendous. My one man's opinion.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Farrell.
Yeah, Will Ferrell. You got Will Ferrell and Bill Murray.
I just wonder, do they get along? I hope they get along. I was a little red flagged on Farrell because of what happened between him and Adam McKay, like how they doesn't talk. They were the longest friends, and they don't talk anymore. Like maybe Farrell sucks.
I think it's.
You think it's the other way?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. The other one, the one that I was, well, I'll see, you guys won't pick it, so the one that I think would be good, and I've heard is like the coolest dude, and we would have one thing in common, which would lead to kind of some fun conversation. Is Michael Keaton. So Keaton is like he lives in Livingston, Montana, and one of his reputations is he's past giving about anything.
Yep.
So he's just his own human. So I considered him a lot. I also considered Hanks. But I'll go Farrell.
Well, I think, and you also on that same page, and Gibby's already done that one, so he can't pick him. But you got Jack Nicholson, might be a fun guy to spend.
What would that be like? He's
I
got to
have
be
no
in his
idea.
80s. Like, does he?
And then the great Sandu.
The great Sandu. Oh, he was on there. I didn't
He's
see
a
him.
16.
Oh, there he is. The great Sandu.
Great Sandu. Would probably
Sandu would
pretty
be a
fun.
great one with LD. I think they're probably a very nice operation.
I know that. Too bad they live in the same handicap.
Same handicap world. All right, go ahead, Gibby. You got 2 picks.
Oof. I think I want for the single.
You get 2 here. You get.
You get 2, buddy. 2 picks back to back.
You went Murray and Farrell. I mean, that's pretty. That's incredible.
Yeah.
I'm going Darius Rucker.
He's fun.
He's a 7. I've hung out with him.
Wow.
Good dude. Back in the Hootie and the Blowfish days.
When he joined the Buckeye Cruise for Cancer, he said, "I'll do it. All I want to do is play golf with Urban at Ocean Club in the Bahamas, and I'm in." And so they did that. They set it up. Urban said, "I'd love to." So they played Ocean Club, and he came on the Buckeye Cruise for Cancer and sang. Did like 6 songs. Took pictures.
That's all you need.
Great dude. Great
Yeah.
dude. Incredible rendition of Purple Rain. out of Darius Rucker, which I would
doesn't
not have
surprise me.
guessed, but crushed Purple Rain.
Doesn't surprise me at all. All right.
One of his best covers is Mustang Sally.
Oh, yeah.
He
would.
Sally.
He could
What
handle
movie
that.
was that from? The Mustang Sally. It's about a band in Europe, in England, I want to say, and that was their main song.
Was that? I don't know.
Mustang Sally.
It's a good song.
So, the one guy I'd like, and I can't because I have McConaughey at 14.
Yeah.
Like Jason Bateman, I think could be a really good.
I think he'd be fun.
It'd be
I
a
think you'd
really
have a good
fun
hang
afternoon
there.
on the links.
I think you have a good time with him. I've caught up. I watched a couple episodes. I'm not all the way caught up, but I watched 2 episodes of your the show that you wanted me to watch.
The Commitments. Oh.
I watched a couple more episodes.
And?
There's a lot going on.
Isn't it good, though, how you like, they make
It
you
is.
think
Yeah.
you're like,
Yeah.
oh, it's
so
definitely
I don't want to
this?
get too far into it because I'm not all the way caught up yet, but
We're in the same spot. We watched 4?
I believe so.
Then we're in the same spot if you watch 4. I've watched 4.
I think I've watched 4.
But like they make it one episode, you're like, oh, it's definitely this.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then you see the episode through a completely different
Yeah,
paradigm. and
it's
you're
pretty
like, oh,
smart.
It's definitely this.
It's a smart show.
And my guess is it's going to end up being ultimately
something else.
Yeah, neither of those.
Yeah.
From The Commitments was the movie I was looking for.
From
The
The
Commitments,
Commitments.
1991 film, The Commitments.
So
All right, so who are your?
Gareth
Who's,
Bale's a
had him and I
.5
just lost
handicap.
him. So
Good
part
for
of me
him.
really wants to take Sir Charles.
Yeah.
So why not?
I would no. I'm going to go a different direction on this. Where the heck? Did
Well,
he
then
go?
there's, I would say that there's more of you that doesn't. Are you thinking Sly Stallone?
No, because
God, I'd
I've got to
love
be.
that talk
Are you
about
thinking
Cobra.
Madonna? So him and. Are you thinking Shakira? Shakira?
I actually got to go to Madonna's sound check at the Grammys in 2001, and I
course
hung
you
out
did.
with Guy Ritchie and
Oh,
Jon
man.
Stewart, and we went to a bar and got
Well,
blasted in
course
the
he
middle of
did.
the
Of course
afternoon
he
in
did.
LA.
We know that. I would also say that as an 18,
incredible.
Conan O'Brien, I think. would
That's
be a lot
where
of fun.
that's where I was going.
Conan,
I will
yeah.
take Conan O'Brien.
That's
Yeah.
a good group.
I'm going to go Chuck.
I mean, your group is electric. So I've got LD and Snoop. So I'd like your help with this.
Yep. I'm willing and able.
I have a couple ways that I'm considering going right now.
Okay.
So I need my single digit guy right now.
Okay.
And on the first page, there are a lot of people. You know, Matt Damon. Consideration for Matt Damon. We'll put him
I'm
in.
sure it'd be a good time.
We're going to put him in consideration.
All right, so Damon's in the mix.
Damon's in consideration. Marky Mark is in consideration.
I don't think you want Wahlberg.
He's in consideration.
I'm just
I
saying.
think
you
he's
don't-
too intense.
He's way too intense. Like he's up at
yeah.
2:45 in the morning. He's sprinting. He's doing sprint golf. Haven't you heard this? Like he sprints to the golf ball.
All right, then he's out.
You can't have that
Nope.
with
All right,
Snoop and
all
LD.
right, all right.
Although LD, like making fun of him, might be an
Would be
electric
funny.
factory. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. I'm going to also, in consideration, we're going to put Samuel L. Jackson.
I like that.
I think that could be a lot of fun.
Yep.
Got about 2 minutes, gentlemen.
Here's
for
a
the
little
end.
bit of a wild card that maybe you didn't see coming, but perhaps you should have. Catherine Zeta-Jones is in serious consideration right now.
She is an 8.
In serious consideration.
I used to have a massive crush on her.
Same.
Who didn't? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mask of Zorro.
So I could be
Come on.
hanging out with Catherine Zeta-Jones,
Come on, how great
Snoop,
is she?
and
That movie's
LD.
undefeated.
She's unbelievable in that.
Yeah. So she's
an 8.
That's a pretty strong consideration there. And then Peyton Manning. has
Manning
some
would be fun.
consideration.
Manning and
good
LD,
golfer.
and he's self-deprecating. Plus, he's a really good golfer.
Yeah.
So, like, you could. My guess is like you versus him. You versus him. I would take you, but I think you versus him would be a hell of a match. And he would have the knowledge of Augusta as a member that you wouldn't.
Yeah.
Which is worth some strokes.
Agreed.
So he's a 3.5 handicap.
I found an issue.
Go
An
ahead.
issue has been brought to light. Read for me the name of number 2 on our list. Bo Bishop.
Yeah. I'll read it.
And Gibbe, I'd like you to read the name of number 77 on our list.
Alice Cooper.
Gibbe?
Alice Cooper.
Alice Cooper is also number 77.
He's on the list twice. He's he's a 2 in both instances.
And then,
by the way,
number 26 on the list.
Him showing up in Wayne's World is pretty great.
He's so good.
Milwaukee.
Number 26 on the list, Samuel L. Jackson. Number 83 on the list.
Sam Jackson?
Samuel L. Jackson.
All right.
Well,
Where are you going?
So
we got like a minute left.
So
here.
who are you in? Who are you in? What are your
Help me.
options? You had Damon.
Cross Damon's out.
Oh, okay.
Sam Jackson, Zeta-Jones, or Peyton.
I think you do Peyton.
Yeah.
Because then you have the fun with Snoop and LD.
We could have a real golf, me and him.
LD will have a blast, like talking sports with Peyton, talking
yeah.
NFL.
Yeah, there it is.
You get a window. He's a great time.
And I'd be
You
able
don't
to
have that crud Eli bringing him down.
I'd be able to have a video where maybe he narrates one of my golf shots.
Now you're talking. Now you're talking.
Zeta
Well
Jones, though,
done.
can she be? I'd like her to accompany us.
If she's got an 8, I mean, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
That'd be a scene, brother.
That
All
would
right,
be.
good stuff. Good stuff. We are back Monday, kids. That's where we're at.
That's
we're
it.
Back, we're back on a Monday.
Yeah.
Enjoy your weekend, everybody. Cleveland Browns Daily, presented by Bally Bet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Please bet responsibly.